Boy. Hi, I'm planning a trip to Japan and wanted to ask, is it safe for travelers there? Travel agent. Hi there. Good question. Safety can vary depending on the location. Overall, Japan is relatively safe, but like any place, it's important to stay alert. I recommend checking for any travel advisories before you go, just to be sure. Boy, that's good to know. I'm a bit nervous, honestly. Are there any local customs or laws I should be aware of before going? I don't want to accidentally do something wrong. Travel agent. Yes, it's very important to understand the local customs and laws. For example, Japan has a very respectful culture, and public behavior is crucial. It's best to research those specific customs beforehand. You should also be aware of safety warnings like areas to avoid, especially at night. It's always good to be respectful of their culture. Boy. Okay, that makes sense. So how do I find out if there are any safety warnings or updates about the place? Travel agent. You can check travel advisory websites like the one from your government. These sites give up-to-date information about safety, political situations, or natural disasters. Also, local authorities usually post important safety information online. Boy. I've heard a lot about the travel insurance, but I'm not really sure if it's necessary. Is it something I should get for my trip? Travel agent. Yes, I highly recommend travel insurance. It helps protect you in case something goes wrong during your trip. There are different types of insurance. Some cover medical emergencies, others cover trip cancellations, and some even cover lost luggage. Boy, that sounds helpful. So what exactly does it cover if something happens to me? Is it worth the cost? Travel agent. It covers things like medical expenses if you get sick or injured, as well as costs related to canceled flights or lost baggage. It can really save you money and stress in emergencies, and the cost depends on your destination, the duration of your trip, and the kind of coverage you choose. Boy, how much does it usually cost? Is it really necessary for short trips or just for longer ones? Travel agent. For short trips, the cost is usually lower, and it can still be really useful, especially if you're going somewhere unfamiliar or engaging in adventurous activities. Even a basic plan can be helpful for a few days. It's an extra layer of protection, so I'd say it's worth it. Boy. Okay, that makes sense. But what about safety tips in general? I'm worried about my stuff getting stolen or something happening while I'm exploring. Travel agent. Good concern. First, always use hotel safes to secure your valuables like passports and extra cash. Avoid carrying too much cash on you, and use a money belt for important items like your phone or credit cards. It's also a good idea to wear a backpack in front of you when in crowded places. Boy, that's a great tip, but sometimes I get lost in new places. Is there an easy way to stay aware of where I am, especially if I'm not familiar with the area? Travel agent. Absolutely. You can use your phone's maps or a travel app. Many of them have safety features like alerts for high crime areas. If you're walking around, always check the area before heading out and make sure your phone is fully charged. That way you can always find your way or call for help if needed. Boy, that's really useful. Is there anything else I should know about staying aware of my surroundings while exploring a new city? Travel agent. Yes, always keep your eyes on your surroundings, especially when you're in crowded places. Try to avoid walking alone at night, especially in unfamiliar areas. It's always better to stay in well-lit, busy streets and be cautious of pickpockets. Boy, I've heard you need certain vaccinations when you travel. Do I need any specific ones for my trip to Japan? Travel agent. It really depends on where you're going. Some countries require vaccinations like yellow fever or malaria prevention, while others may suggest basic vaccinations. like flu shots or hepatitis A. I recommend checking with a travel clinic before you go to make sure you're covered. Boy, that sounds important. Do I have to see a travel clinic or can my regular doctor help with this? Travel agent. Your regular doctor can be helpful, but for travel-specific vaccines, it's usually best to consult a travel clinic. They specialize in vaccines and health precautions for travelers, so they can give you the most accurate advice based on your destination. Boy. Okay, I'll make an appointment at a travel clinic then. Is there anything else I should do to prepare health-wise for my trip? Travel agent. Make sure to bring any necessary medications with you and keep them in your carry-on bag in case your checked luggage gets delayed. Also, drink bottled water if you're going to a place where tap water might not be safe, and be cautious about street food. Boy. Got it. Thanks for all the advice. I feel a lot better about my trip now. Travel agent. You're welcome. Stay safe and enjoy your travels. Remember, preparation is key to having a smooth trip. If you need anything else, feel free to reach out. Boy, I've heard about a few dangers in Japan, but I'm not sure what to expect. What are some common travel hazards I should watch out for, like pickpocketing or natural disasters? Travel agent. Good question. In Japan, pickpocketing can be a problem in crowded areas, especially around popular tourist spots. It's always best to keep an eye on your belongings and use a money belt or neck pouch. As for natural disasters, Japan is known for earthquakes and typhoons, so it's a good idea to check the weather reports before your trip. Boy, that's good to know. Are there any safety laws or areas I should avoid while I'm there? Travel agent. Yes, there are a few things to keep in mind. For example, certain areas might be restricted or have curfews. It's a good idea to avoid areas that are known to be unsafe, especially at night. You should also pay attention to local laws such as respecting dress codes or rules about public behavior, as violating them can lead to fines or legal issues. Boy, okay, I'll keep that in mind. But what about staying in touch with my family and friends while I'm away? How can I keep in contact while traveling? Travel agent. Great question. There are a few options for staying connected. You can buy a local SIM card once you arrive, which is often cheaper than international roaming. Many places also offer free Wi-Fi, especially in cafes, hotels, and airports. Just be careful about using public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks like banking. Boy, that sounds easy enough. Are there any apps or services that make it easier to communicate while traveling? Travel agent. Yes, apps like WhatsApp, Skype, or Viber are great for staying in touch with people back home. They let you send messages and make calls over Wi-Fi, which can save you a lot of money. Just make sure you have a good internet connection, and you should be all set. Boy, thanks for the tips. But what should I do in case of an emergency? Like if I lose my passport, get sick, or even if I get robbed? What should my first steps be? Travel agent. In case of losing your passport, the first thing you should do is contact your country's embassy or consulate. They can help you get a replacement. For medical emergencies, always have the local emergency numbers saved in your phone. If you're not sure, your hotel staff can help you contact the right medical services. Boy, what about if I get robbed? What should I do then? Travel agent. If you're robbed, immediately report it to the local police. Get a copy of the police report, as you may need it for insurance or to prove your loss. It's also a good idea to contact your bank and credit card companies if any cards or cash were taken. And remember, with travel insurance, some policies cover theft or loss of personal items. So make sure to check with your insurance provider. Boy, does travel insurance cover emergencies like that? What about if I need help 24/7? Travel agent. Yes, most travel insurance plans provide 24/7 support for emergencies, including medical assistance, stolen items, or travel delays. It's one of the main reasons why it's so useful. Before you go, make sure you know the emergency contact number for your insurance company and have a copy of your policy handy. Boy, thanks for all this information. Do you have any last tips to make sure I stay safe and have an enjoyable trip? Travel agent. Of course, my main advice is to always plan ahead. Know your destination and what to expect. Keep a copy of your passport, visa, and important documents in a secure place, separate from the originals. Stay alert in public places, especially in crowded areas. Also, make sure to get local emergency contact numbers and trust your instincts. If something feels off, it's okay to change your plans or seek help. And most importantly, have fun, enjoy your trip, and make the most of your experience. Boy, thanks a lot. I feel a lot more confident now. I'll make sure to follow all your advice and stay safe. Travel agent. You're welcome. I'm sure you'll have an amazing time in Japan. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out. Safe travels. Write a sentence in English in the comments section below. Find the mistake. Incorrect. I will use my phone for check the map. Correct. I will use my phone to check the map. Explanation. For check should be to check. Incorrect. I will talk to my bank if my card's stolen. Correct. I will talk to my bank if my card is stolen. Explanation. Missing is for correct sentence structure. 5 vocabulary words. Advisory. A warning or recommendation about potential risks or dangers. Customs. Accepted behaviors or traditions in a particular place. Emergency. A serious situation that requires immediate attention or action. SIM card. A small card used in mobile phones to store information and connect to a network. Insure. To protect yourself financially against risks like accidents or loss. If you want to understand the travel booking process in English, from choosing packages to asking about payment options, click the video here or follow the link in the description.